Welcome to this Calm Your Mind session with me, your host, clinical hypnotherapist and psychotherapist, Tanya Taylor. Today we will be doing a wonderful relaxation written by me, The December Miracle, a story metaphor for people struggling with stress and overwhelm at Christmas, followed by a beautiful little metaphor written by Claire Murchison, a recognition of our resilience through life's many changes and celebrating the uniqueness that is you in the little snowflake. You can find both of these relaxations in the Ultimate Guided Relaxation Collection, Volume 1, edited by Tanya Taylor. So just getting yourself comfortable now and ensuring that you're in a safe, relaxed position where no harm can come to you nor anybody else surrounding you should you fall asleep whilst listening. And we're going to begin by relaxing all the muscles in the body in turn. First, focusing on the head and the face. I'd like you to imagine what it might feel like if you had a beautiful wave of peaceful, calm tranquility spread down through all the tiny little muscles in your scalp, down through your forehead, relaxing each muscle in turn, through your eyebrows and all the muscles surrounding your eyes, enabling you to release tension in the cheeks, unclenching your jaw and relaxing your tongue. If the tongue's touching the roof of the mouth, you're still holding tension there, so just allow your tongue to sit loosely in the mouth now. As you relax all the muscles in the head and the face, feel that same gentle wave of relaxation sweeping down through the neck, into the shoulders, really releasing all that tension you hold in your shoulders as you move down through the arms, the upper arm, the lower arm, into the hands, right the way to the tips of the fingers, really allowing both arms just to feel perfectly at ease now, comfortably heavy, just like they might feel if you were in a deep and relaxing sleep. Bringing awareness to your breathing now, noticing already the breath becoming slower and steadier as you allow yourself to relax more and more. Noticing the chest and the tummy muscles relaxing, and the muscles either side of the spine, as that same calm sensation of peaceful tranquility spreads down through the torso, in through the pelvis, down through the buttocks, into the upper legs. That same sense of relaxation swirls around your knees, moves down through the lower legs, into your feet, right the way to the tips of your toes, your whole body just feeling beautifully relaxed now, perfectly at ease. And you can close your eyes if you haven't already, and imagine yourself relaxing deeper and deeper now, feeling so relaxed. You might just feel as if you are floating on air. As you relax and rest, getting more and more comfortable, more and more at ease. And I'd like you to just imagine yourself now at the top of 10 beautiful stairs, stairs inside a beautiful country mansion, somewhere that you're creating in your mind's eye. And as you're standing at the top of those 10 stairs, you know that you'll find yourself relaxing and going deeper and deeper with every step down you take. And whilst you're going deeper, you'll still be able to hear my voice talking, soothing, relaxing you. So 10, taking that first step down now. 9, feeling easy. 8, holding on to the sturdy handrail by your side. 7, feeling relaxed. 6, perfectly at ease now. 5, already halfway there. 4, your body continuing to feel lighter and lighter. 3, almost as if you're just floating now, floating, relaxing, all that tension released. 2, she moved down now to 1, final step to 0, and your whole body feels more relaxed, more at ease, and it has done in a very long time. And I'm going to tell you a story now, 2 stories in fact. And the first is about a very busy woman, so busy in fact she rarely had time to do anything for herself. She worked a busy job. She helped take care of others when she wasn't working, and often worked more hours so she could reach her deadlines. Every year, although she heard talk of Christmas, it didn't really feel like the festive season had arrived. She couldn't quite put her finger on why, but it seemed like the festive season, the smiles, the joy, the love, was happening to others and not to herself. So every year she carried on working and taking care of others, feeling more and more disconnected. Then one crisp, early December morning, she arrived in the office and checked her pigeonhole, and there was a beautiful, elegant envelope with a ruby red wax seal. She placed it gently on her desk and looked at it for a few moments, paying attention to the embossed thick cream paper and the stamp within the wax. When she thought no one was looking, she opened it up, and there inside was a ticket. Not just any ticket, This ticket was a gift voucher for a few days away in a log cabin just for her. She smiled at the gesture and quickly took the envelope away, acknowledging that she just didn't have the time to go away right now. It was December after all. Deadlines were looming. Deadlines for work projects, deadlines for gifts and buying them for people. She just didn't have the time. Later that day, she was called in to see the manager. Her first thought that she must have made some terrible mistake. Tentatively walking into the office, a stomach full of nerves, she waited to find out if she was going to be disciplined. Instead, and to her utter surprise, she was asked what time she was leaving today to go on her trip. Flabbergasted, she said she couldn't. She didn't have the time. Her manager told her she must make the time and she must leave at once. Now her manager was a very persuasive person, so off she went with a new goal for the next few days. She was to rest, revive, and enjoy the festivities. How this was going to be possible when she felt so detached, she had no idea, but she gathered all she needed and set off, following her sat-nav to her unknown destination. The drive was a difficult one, winding roads and hills, but eventually she arrived. It had already had snow here, and her cabin was surrounded with the inconvenient white stuff. The evergreen trees stood tall outside, full of snow, and although she felt it should look picturesque, instead she felt everything looked dull. She took her bags from the car parking space and down some wooden steps that led directly to the cabin. With each step down, she saw herself getting closer and closer to a place of calm, a place where nothing else and no one else mattered, a place where she could just be. And as she walked down those steps, she could feel a strange transformation taking place within her. Her breathing, despite the crisp cold air and carrying her bags, was slowing. Her shoulders that held so much tension unknowingly for so long were relaxing, and with each step down, she felt more and more like her old self was returning. How had she lost her old self, she pondered. But it didn't matter, for all that mattered was that she was beginning to feel more like her old self than she had known in a long time, and it felt good. By the time she reached the bottom of the steps, she was smiling, and as she looked around at her surroundings, everything appeared so much brighter and lighter, so much more colourful. It was as if she had been walking around with dark sunglasses on for so long that she hadn't noticed what life could look like if she had taken them off. With a new sense of curiosity, she opened the cabin door and was hit by a wave of subtle warmth. She stamped the snow from her feet, removed her coat, walking from room to room in awe of this magical place. She could swear she even saw a sparkle as she looked at a painting of Santa Claus hung in the hallway. His cheeks were rosy, his belly round, His button lips were smiling, and she felt comforted somehow. After unpacking and making herself at home, for now she felt it really was homely and comforting, she decided she would take a walk to the local village. The sun was low in the sky as dusk approached, and there was a well-lit path that led the short walk to the village. And for the first time in a long time, she walked with her head held high and a smile on her face. The dark sunglasses were off, and she could see everything so much clearer. Now she could notice the dogs that were wrapped up in Christmas jumpers as they walked. She noticed a window display depicting kindness and gratitude, the Christmas lights shining brightly from the lantern street lamps. And as she was feeling brave, she took a moment to turn around and around on the spot and absorb the magical surroundings. There were the carol singers and their merry audience, the people bustling and talking joyfully, the shopkeepers taking pride in their businesses, and as she spun, it began to rain. In past times she knew she would have cursed and got mad, but now she allowed herself to notice the rain, to dance in the rain, and to splash in the puddles, just like the children were. Her old self really had returned. Everything was different, and yet everything remained exactly the same. And all she had to do was to take a moment to just be, to take a breather from being busy, to take off the dark glasses and look around the world with curiosity instead of ignorance. And every festive period from there on in, she was reminded to spend time on herself. She was reminded that taking a moment to turn around and absorb all of her surroundings was something valuable to her. And each time she did, she felt herself reconnect with the feelings of love, gratitude, and giving at Christmas, and to reconnect with that version of herself she knows and loves. I'm going to tell you another story now about a little snowflake. The little snowflake was falling softly, gracefully through the atmosphere. It was not alone. Millions and millions of snowflakes were drifting down, as though in a magical dance, choreographed by an invisible force, each one playing its part whilst on its own path, tumbling, swirling towards the planet below, moving together in harmony, each in its own space, instinctively knowing the role it was to play here, trusting that it was doing its very best and nothing else was required. Slowly floating through the dark night sky, the little snowflake had time to consider the journey it had taken to be here right now, in this moment, filling the void of night with icy beauty. It remembered waiting for the rays of springtime sun to cast light onto the frozen landscape, freeing it from where it rested. And the sun came. The warmth gave the frozen droplet the power to change to liquid, so once again it was free to move, and it did, grasping the opportunities, finding its way, trusting it was going to go well. As a little snowflake makes its way towards Earth, It sees the rivers it had flowed within, enabling him to make his way across the land so very easily. He had travelled with hope and excitement alongside so many other water droplets, part of the network of nature as they navigated their way towards warmer climates, noticing the changing colours of the world, of the nature and the different sounds surrounding them, enjoying feeling connected, sensing he was part of something bigger than he could comprehend, trusting each move was the right one as he looked forward confidently with anticipation to what was to come. More opportunities, more special moments, more adventures. Looking down, the little snowflake saw the hills, the valleys, the lakes with a different perspective, understanding more and more about how it all connected and appreciating how magical life on earth truly was. He thought of the words he had heard, the lives he had touched, where he had brought hope or life or beauty, and he felt proud of what he had accomplished. The little snowflake knew he was absolutely unique. No other snowflake was quite like him. He was one of a kind, an individual, formed by his experiences, his journey, and that meant he was truly special. Yet he loved being part of this snowfall, of being connected with other like creations, while swirling and twirling in his own beautiful and unique way down towards the surface of the earth. And as the snowflakes neared their destination, they collectively coated the world in a frosty white. He rests, surrounded by hundreds of thousands of other flakes of crisp, icy white snow, hearing the laughter of children, their excitement, their joy, their playfulness. He can sense their anticipation of fun as they see the snowy playground freshly created. The little snowflake knew his role had altered as he travelled to this moment. His purpose had changed. Once here to give life to plants, crops and animals, or to sparkle in fast-flowing rivers, or generate energy as he rushed down a waterfall. He realized his purpose now was bringing happiness and beauty to the earth, no matter how fleetingly. In all his delicate and translucent beauty, he plays his part in decorating the world as a winter wonderland, forming a snowball and then a snowman. The little snowflake knows he will soon thaw and once again have the opportunity to travel to the earth as a water droplet, taking each day as it comes and knowing how exciting it will be. If you want to know more about the services I offer, please visit my website or search Tanya Taylor Hypnotherapy on Google. www.tanyataylor.com www.tanya-taylor.co.uk. Tanya is spelled with an I.